And we are live.
You know, honey, I've been thinking since our last episode when we kind of brought up wise counsel.
Uh-huh.
And some people marriages falling apart because they talk too much. And they talking too much to the wrong people.
I was gonna say, what?
Yeah.
Elaborate. But okay, they talking too much to the wrong people. That is a fact. That is that's interesting. Wanna elaborate on that right now?
Let's do it.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another car episode of the Marriages Podcast. I'm your host, Marshawn Stallings, and with me is a lovely, amazing, beautiful, sensational chocolate drop from heaven's own chocolate fountain.
More like caramel, but
Chocolate caramel, whatever you want to call it.
we love it.
Either way, let me big you up, man. Anyway, my lovely co-host, my wife, Lisha.
What's up,
Yay.
everybody?
And together, we're known as the Chosens. Wow. Thought you was going to say it with me.
I was going to, but you ain't give me like that.
And
Like-
together, we're known as the
Chosens.
Chosens. What you? So today we have a pillar, if you will. Today's subject is a pillar of our marriage. It was probably the second pillar. I mean, yeah, it does, because the first pillar is God. So the second pillar of our marriage, or the second encounter, where we had to look at our marriage from a planning perspective of understanding. Like, no, that didn't make sense at all. What am I trying to say? It's where we had to look at our marriage as a team. Yeah, one of the beginning ways that we had to look at our marriage as a team is what I'm trying to say.
I think planning is like the right word, because what we did was addressed and targeted a lot of potential situations or things in life that we knew would just happen.
Yeah.
And so we put the mechanisms or the people, the practices, the disciplines in place before things even occur. So we decided to play offense instead of defense.
Thank you. Forecasting is the word I was looking for.
Forecasting.
Yes, this is one of the ones where we started forecasting in our marriage, if you will. And that's pretty much, we just set up guardrails, right? At the behest of my mother, who was, I ain't gonna say the first person in our wise counsel, but she gave us this understanding of what wise counsel is and why it is important. And honestly, like,
she was wise counseling us before we even knew what it was to have wise counsel, because she brought it up.
Exactly. So like, that right there was, I can't say it enough. That right there probably single-handedly changed the trajectory of what our marriage possibly could have looked like if we didn't have this in place. So stay tuned, check it out. And I'm gonna ask you right now that if you're watching, thank you so much for taking the time out to watch us. We hope this episode is encouraging. Our whole channel is about encouraging and showing you that marriage built on a foundation of God does exist. It is possible. It is fun. It is real. It is challenging. But guess what? No challenge can't be overcome. So that's my spiel. Like, all right, when you get to this video, subscribe when something hits you, and then comment your takeaways from today.
And right now, there are 3 couples that you know who need the information that we're sharing. Whether or not the words have come out of their mouth, you know that they're facing some kind of struggle or challenge in this time, and the solutions are here. God is here. We are here, and we want them to get the help that they need and receive the help that they need.
Talk to them.
All right, so, baby.
Oh, amen. Okay, yeah.
Let's run it up,
Yeah, let's get into it.
What is your definition of wise counsel?
My definition of wise counsel? A group of people who are wiser than you that are able to counsel you in different ways. But yeah, a group of people who you trust that are wiser than you that are able to counsel you in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I not use the word counsel?
I mean, I guess you can.
Okay. Then yeah, that's my definition.
Okay.
What's your definition?
So my definition, since you laid the premise of the situation, I'm gonna take it a little deeper.
Okay.
We're gonna get into the details. The wise counsel are people who can remain impartial.
Yeah.
They have gone ahead of you in the place that you want to be, in the place that you're working towards. So since we're talking about marriage, these are the people who have longevity in their marriage.
Yep.
Who have health in their marriage.
Yep.
Who have unity in their marriage, who have peace in their marriage, who have rest in their marriage. Whatever it is that you aspire to have for your marriage, they have that. And they have the ability to remain impartial.
Exactly. And now, first off, that was a beautiful definition. And it almost had me scream. I ain't gonna hold you. Because I was like, oh my gosh. I never thought about it as... It's literally, in its simplicity, it's literally everything you aspire to have or want in your own marriage. It's like creating your future marriage before you even get there.
And
like,
it's not that they get it right all the time.
Right.
Because marriage is ever evolving. And so there's always some growing to do. But they've gone ahead of you, meaning where you are, they've experienced that.
Yep.
So their ceiling, wherever they are right now, their ceiling is your foundation.
Exactly. Which puts you miles and miles ahead. Like, oh my gosh. That leads into like why mentorship is important, having the right mentors.
100%.
And just how acceleration even happens. Oh my gosh.
If there was one thing, this is a little off topic, but if there was one thing that I can preach to heaven comes down, is mentorship. Because that is something that is not talked about enough in our communities. A lot of us have grown up in a culture of what goes on in our home, stay in our home.
Yeah.
You don't tell people what's going on in your home. And that's why a lot of us in our culture, not us, but like I'm generalizing,
us people in general,
are in bondage or in oppression. Yeah, people in general. But I'm speaking to is where I come from. So get you some mentors.
Oh yeah, get you the right mentors. Because even in that, right, like in order to have a good mentor, you have to be a good mentee.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be coachable, which one of my homeboys talked to me about before. I didn't realize I wasn't coachable. He asked me a question, messed me up. But
what was the question?
I don't remember, but it had to do with coachability.
You're killing me, Stallings.
Yeah, I know, because whenever I have a conversation with someone and it's transformative, I remember the principle of the thing.
Okay.
I don't remember all the details.
Okay.
Now with you, when I met you, I remember all the details because baby, that was life changing. But like with conversations like that, I don't remember every detail. I remember the place, the setting. I remember where we were at, the feeling, but I don't remember like every little word in the question. I just remember that there was a question, and then by the end of the conversation, it was like, oh, bro, you got to remain coachable. Like, you got to be coachable. If someone says do this, you got to do this without even thinking, because I wanted to know everything before I made a step.
That's so crazy you brought that up, because I was going to go into seeds.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's good. Like, because it works perfectly. Because in the Bible, God gives us the parable about the farmer sowing seed. So you got to be good ground. Yes. But you also got to be around the people who sow good seed.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that might be another episode, or we'll go. We'll see what happens.
You know, that's one token of why it's important to have wise counsel.
Exactly.
Because your wise counsel are those people who are going to sow good seed.
They say if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with people. Mm-hmm. Your wise counsel are part of those people, you know? But continue, babe. Continue.
So, can you think of a time where we went to our wise counsel? There have been several times.
Several.
But can you think of a time?
The biggest time was the bankruptcy.
Okay.
Did I take your story?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, for those that don't know, we went through bankruptcy, and it was probably one of the hardest challenges we've had to face together. It tested us individually. It tested us as a couple. It tested us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, I was having physical manifestations of stress, I was having hiccups and I couldn't stop hiccuping.
Crazy. His stress manifested in hiccups.
It was the craziest thing ever, and I never want to have hiccups ever again. We didn't know what to do. We saw, long story short, actually long story to a story, we saw an issue arising coming up in our finances. I had been laid off, right? We were down from like a 3-income household to a 1-income household, just like that. And the job I did have wasn't making nearly enough for us to sustainably live on. Thankfully, we definitely had some savings and a cushion. God definitely does provide. But we got to this inflection point in our lives where it was like bankruptcy shouldn't be for us. We shouldn't have to do bankruptcy. We did everything correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like in our point of views, we didn't like do things out of order, if you will, right? We went to the schools, we got the good jobs, we picked the right degrees, you know.
Work extremely hard. Work ethic impeccable.
Listen, extremely hard. So it was like, it was almost like, what did we mismanage to end up here? Oftentimes, God will strip you because he needs you to birth something that was been within you. And the comfortability that you are used to has to go. It has to go because, oftentimes I say innovation, challenges is the mother of innovation. And when you need something, and when you need something done, and your back is up against the wall, you will look inside and pull out something. But that's besides the point. What was I saying? So before we decided, hey, let's do bankruptcy, we were like battling within ourselves about how we're gonna look, how people are going to talk about us, you know what I'm saying? What is it going to look like to others? And that's when we called up the only people we know, that we thought it was the only people that we know at the time, who went through bankruptcy. And that's when we went to Mommy and Pops. And they guided us through. They told us everything. They made us feel...
it's no big deal.
Yeah, like it was so much better. It's
gonna be fine.
Exactly.
Life goes on after.
Life goes on. And then he's just like, the rich do the same thing.
All the time.
You know?
Their bankruptcy might look a little different from our bankruptcy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, we leverage the system, that controls these worlds to get out of debt. And we got almost every wiped away, except for student loans and a car because we decided to keep it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, everything was wiped away. Man, talk about acceleration of paying off your debt, getting out of debt. Oh my gosh. That could preach itself.
So our story could be so much different had we gone to people who, one, hadn't had the experience.
Yep. 2,
hadn't made it through it. Like marriage still intact. Mm-hmm. Marriage still thriving, because we know finances are the number one thing that can destroy a marriage.
Yes.
So had we not gone to those people, had we gone to people who said, oh, don't do that, it's going to put a stain on your credit, it's going to keep you from being able to buy a house in the future, and yada yada, and all the things, we would still be in bondage.
Yep.
We would still be trying to pay off that. Now, mind you guys, we've paid off a lot of debt. We paid off 5 figures, and I ain't talking about 10 of debt, and still could not get from underneath it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a snowball. You start robbing people to pay Paul, you're going to continuously rob people to pay Paul. You're going to continuously. But now we're wiser. Now we understand. And, but yeah, that was one story that I can remember. Where we went to Wise Counsel. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, I kind of think that covered all the things we had about Wise Counsel, why it's important to have Wise Counsel, how to select your Wise Counsel, and how...
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, because of course we're a channel about practical solutions.
Yes.
So I like to be clear. All right, so for those that don't know, I am a teacher right now, and I've been actually teaching throughout my career, whether it be mentoring, others teaching them little hints and tips. Even when I was going through my boot camp, I was teaching other people how to do software engineering as I was learning it. So like the different languages we was learning, all that good stuff, the methodologies, I was teaching them like in our other offline chats. So it's always been there. One thing I like to do is I like to ask a plain question and have a plain answer. You know, so I'll ask you, why is wise counsel important to you?
It's important to have support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes our emotions get ahead of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to, you just be like, girl, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping, or is this what happened? So sometimes you need somebody to help you have clarity.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize support enough. And then because we are planners, we are those who, let me say this, because I'm not completely done with the bankruptcy story.
Of course.
Everything in life is an exchange.
Yeah.
And in that bankruptcy, we exchange debt for stress, emotional turmoil, like that, going through the actual
process. Oh my gosh.
Process
yes.
of the bankruptcy.
Yes.
There was an exchange. Like, we
My
went
goodness.
through it. So even having my mentor who, gave us the advice to even pursue bankruptcy in the first place.
Yep.
Him being like, listen, I went through bankruptcy right before my career and businesses took off. I bought my first house after $3 million house.
Yeah.
After going through bankruptcy. So even having him show what was possible, and even having our wise counsel say, like, it's okay, y'all gonna get through it, and encourage us, we still had to make that exchange.
Yep.
So I forgot why I wanted to say all that, because
I ain't gonna hold you. I went somewhere. I was like, dang. Yeah, I remember those days. Oh my goodness.
It really tested us.
Yeah, it did.
And,
at one point, we was even talking to each other like that.
I was about to get into it. The blame game.
Oh my gosh.
We had to stay out of the blame game. We had to resolve internal conflict.
Yeah.
Of wanting to blame ourselves, of wanting to blame each other.
Yeah.
Which is why we wrote out, how did we get here?
Oh my goodness. Yep, the timeline. The marriage timeline. If you haven't, I would implore you, why? If you ever ask yourself, how did we get somewhere? Write out your marriage timeline. From the time that y'all met, to the time that you got married, to the time that X happened, Y happened, XYZ. The big points, right? You'll sit with it. If you can't remember it, trust me, sit with it. It'll come to you.
And if you do it with your partner, because, like, he has a certain level of strength when it comes to memory, and I have a certain level, and, like, so he'll, like, spark my memory, and I'll be like, oh yeah, and this too, and that happened too. So, you could do it individually, but at some point come together, because there's going to be things that's missing, and there's going to be some perspectives also that's missing. So that's why it's important for you to do it together.
Absolutely. Shoot, do it together from the beginning. Don't even wait. Do it together from the beginning. That's another one. That timeline was crazy. But I feel like you had more to say.
Okay.
The question was, why is it important to you?
Oh, yeah. So I said support, clarity, being able to talk to people who have been there, who have experienced certain things and gone through it. I'm thinking of this time a recent time in my head when I reached out to our mentors, who are easily have been adopted into our wise counsel just by way they mentors. So one time I called my mentor and I said, I think an evil spirit came to visit me. Because I was sitting at my desk, and I kid you not, I felt my mind like jump off of a cliff. And she was like, is this going on? And I was like, yeah. And she said, girl, that's just your hormone. She said, ain't no evil spirit come visit you. That's your hormone. What y'all have to do is be more intentional about planning and preparing for that time of the month. And to go from a completely normal state to, like, literally I see, like, a little person, like, jumping off of the cliff in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's the representation of what's happening inside of me. And thinking that is one thing, and it's just that I'm at a different space in my life, hormonally, that I've never been in before, that I have never had those type of conversations with other women about before. And now, I had the perfect person at the perfect time who has the wisdom and insight to be able to tell me if something was spiritual
Yep.
or if my hormones was taking control of me. And they were.
And that's why we call her Sheila.
Oh my goodness. Why you gotta tell everybody?
Her hormone monster's name is Sheila.
Why you gotta tell everybody what my hormone monster name is? And I don't know why it's Sheila.
It's because of it. There's a specific gun on Apex Legends. And if you play it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's pretty much a turret. And it'll mow down anything that gets in its way. And then you can hear it when it starts up. You can hear it when it hits. You can feel it when it hits. A turret. A turret, yeah. See, that's why you should play the game with me. It's exactly why.
No.
See?
Me, yeah.
See?
One day.
See?
Soon. Coming soon. We're going to be playing the game together.
Anyway, yeah. So that's why I named it Sheila. That's exactly why. But you had mentioned something. But I feel like you had something to say. So go ahead.
Talk to the right people. Don't run your mouth to everybody. Your wise counsel should be those right people, and not the right people in a sense that you go to them about everything. So we started out with 3 couples.
No, hold on. Because now we're going, let's, again, clear questions, clear answers, right?
Okay.
So you say why it's important. Right? We talked about what it is.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's get into the how we created ours.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, like you said, we started off with 3 couples.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, we did something. We came together.
Yes.
And that's the beginning of the wise counsel.
Yes.
Now, I say that because oftentimes when you pick your people, right? When we pick people, just in general, of who we're going to talk to, who we're not going to talk to, about our relationships from the perspective of a relationship, rarely do we think about considering the other person. To say, hey, or do you feel comfortable if I go to this person to talk to? So that's one very important fact of the wise counsel.
Huge.
Is that you do it together. So you sit together, right? And you come up with couples who you want to be able to, that you feel comfortable speaking to, who have similar values, right? Who has what you need in your marriage or what you desire to have in your marriage. All right, write it out on a piece of paper. Like you said, we started with 3 couples, right? And then what? We added a 4th, right?
Yeah. I have a point that I need to write down to make sure I don't forget, okay? You keep going.
Right. Yeah, then we added a 4th, right? But before all that, we didn't tell them, hey, y'all are our wise counsel. We didn't let them know. We agreed on the people. We talked about them because we had a list of people, right? We ultimately narrowed it down to 3 to 4 people, 4 couples, 3 to 4 couples. And each one of them contributes a specific thing. So think of like a piece to a puzzle, right? Or just a tool shed. Each one of them has a specific thing that they do very well. And that's how we use them. But that's getting into how we use them. So that's how we created it though. All right. So we didn't have to text them and be like, hey, you're part of our wise counsel. But if y'all want to put them in a group chat, do that. I don't advise it because, again, each person in your wise counsel, even down to the couple, the individual person within the couple, does one thing very well, and that's when you lean on them. For example, my mother is very good at staying unbiased. To the point where sometimes I'd be like, Ma, whose side of yours? Did I come out of you or did she come out of you? Like what are we really doing here? But that's why she's there, you know? That's why she's there, because she can remain unbiased, still give you the full truth on a balanced scale, and still loop God into it while getting you together, you know? And she does well. When we need to understand, like, the systems of this world, like finances, right? Or, like, I don't want to say survivability, but there's something that your mother does very well. So if we need someone who's just black and white,
put their emotions to the side. Yeah. You won't even know they there.
Exactly. We go to her mom. You see, each person, and I said, that's all I'm giving y'all. I ain't telling y'all a whole arsenal. That's crazy. But each person does one thing and one thing very well, you know? And that's what they contribute to us.
Ooh, talk that talk. Know your wise counsel. Know their contributions, what you can gain, and also what you can give.
Absolutely. Because again, going back to that mentor-mentee situation, right? Mm-hmm. When you have a great mentor-mentee relationship, and I've been both a mentor and a mentee, it has to come from both sides. It has to. It's only so many times that a mentor can walk halfway down your block or all the way down your block to come get you out your house. You have to start walking 50%. You have to start walking 75%. You have to start walking 100%, because in the aim of being a mentee, so this is how I think about it. I want to get to a point where I don't need my mentor. I want my mentor. And in wanting my mentor, I value my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a relationship I need. They have given me everything they can give me, and now I'm just repaying them in thanks, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, let me take you out. You know what I'm saying? Because then that's their reward. It's like...
Or you take them out to sow a seed.
Yeah, but that's like that's their reward, right? Because it's like the whole my words will not return to me void, right? Without a testimony, we won't know if they received what God had for them.
Yes.
Because God's always gonna do it. But we won't know if they receive what God has for them. And in that testimony, our faith grows. For example, I had somebody ask me to pray for him to be a husband, right? Or for his wife to appear, right? Honestly, I don't fully remember the whole thing, which was crazy because he remembers every detail.
Every detail.
But I remember I was leaving, coming out of church, and he stopped us. He said, "What's up?" We was talking, this, that, and the third. Talking to my wife about his things, and then he was like, "Yo, like, can you like pray for me to find my wife?" And I was like, "Bro, me? Like, me pray?" Because my wife was like, "Yo, my husband has a grace for husbandship, whatever you want to call it. And anybody that gravitates to him has the same spirit of a husband inside of them, right?" And I think that's what triggered him to say, like, "Yo, can you pray for me?" And I was just like,
I forgot
sure.
I said that.
I was like, sure. I looked at her like, oh, Lord. I looked through myself like, God, you in there? But we were just leaving church, and still on the grounds, I took his hand, and I remember relaxing. And before I prayed anything, I said, "Lord, I need your help. I need your power." And I literally prayed, and I felt the power go through my right hand into my palm and disperse out. And that's when I know it was done. And of course, like my spiritual father, I blew, you know what I'm saying? And if you know. And it was done. A year later, he's married, he's engaged, he got married, and now he has a kid on the way. And he told me. If he wouldn't have told me that, if he wouldn't have told me the effect, if I wouldn't have seen the engagement, if he wouldn't have invited us to the wedding, my faith in the ability to pray for people would not have grown from that. I still can't fathom that happened. And it happened so fast, and it was nothing that I did. I just opened myself up to be a conduit of God's power. Like, it's transformative. Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy. And honestly, this is the first time I'm actually telling the story.
Yeah.
So y'all are getting an exclusive. But it's so crazy that even happened. Even till today, like, I'm like, God, you really out here. And was like, yeah, my Shaughness, I'm about to use you real quick, yo. Like, I need you. You know what I'm saying? But my God, like, he's so kind. But yeah, anyway, that's the point of having a mentee who talks back, right? Who meets you more than halfway. You know, it makes being a mentor less burdensome.
Wait, I had something to say about that.
My bad.
You mentioned going the 50%, the 75%, the 80%, the 90%, sometimes the 100%. Because listen, your mentors, your wise counsel, they busy. Mm-hmm. They have lives. And if God has poured into them to such a level that he's sending them people, you are not the only one.
Exactly.
So it is your responsibility, significantly more than the mentors, your responsibility to reach out to your mentor. And I needed to say that because I've experienced that people get it confused. People get it confused and they think that their mentor owes them something or that they're doing their mentor a favor. Mm-hmm. No, boo. No. You doing yourself a disservice if you don't take the initiative. Mm-hmm. Because God hasn't just given them to give to you. Yeah. He's given them to give to many people. And there's a Chinese proverb that I love so much.
Do you?
Is either Chinese or Japanese, by the way. Don't quote me on where it came from. Me. But you could Google it. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if you're not pursuing that mentorship and that relationship or that wise counsel, then you're not ready. Yeah. And you got to accept that about where you are. But that's getting into the mentor-mentee conversation. Let's take it back to
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Well, let's continue down this road of wise counselness.
So I wanted to talk about going to wise counsel individually and how we handle those situations and why we handle those situations the way that we handle them.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So everything isn't always a conversation for the group either.
That's why I highly advise putting everybody in a group.
So when you said you highly advise or disadvise on putting everybody in a group?
Everybody in a group. Because a hammer shouldn't talk to a saw don't need to talk to a hammer.
I concur. We highly advise against putting your wise counsel in a group. There may be situations where you need the advice of the group collectively.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not saying there may never be a situation for that to happen. But like just in general, no.
Yeah.
When it comes to going to wise counsel individually, we have established we made the decision that that's okay.
Oh, the understanding.
Yeah, we have the understanding that it is okay for him to seek wise counsel from either party, either side of that party, be it the wife or the husband. It just depends on what the circumstances and what he needs to gain at that time. And the same for me.
Yep.
However, in highly sensitive situations, we do respect each other enough to go to the person and say, hey, I'm dealing with this. I would like to reach out to so-and-so about this. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, as a spouse. Yeah, reach out to your spouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I will ask you, and I have done that before. I've asked you like, hey, are you comfortable with me going to so-and-so about this situation?
Yep. Absolutely.
So I felt it was important to point that out because sometimes you will need to get your partner's consent when it's a highly sensitive situation about who you're going to.
Do you have an example of a highly sensitive situation and just the subject or topic? Because of course it's highly sensitive. Like
I'm trying to remember, and let me tell you, we do such a really good job of forgiving and forgetting in the sense that we don't hold on to things.
By God's grace.
Yeah, by God's grace. So like sometimes, like my husband said, it's really hard to go back and find these specific details. But I do remember a time where I reached out to mommy and I'm going to her about her son.
I told her the subject and topic, and she's going to give a whole story.
I don't remember the subject and topic.
No, so you got to give the story.
I'm just giving the premise. Like, I went to my mother-in-law about her son, and I think it had something to do with how I felt like I was being treated.
Probably.
Yeah.
And because that's when she told you I was selfish.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because I didn't feel like I was selfish.
And I didn't think he was selfish.
Yeah. But that's the thing about wise counsel. They sit higher, so they're able to see. They not look down on you, but they're able to see from a different lens, from a top level view, a top down view, where they're able to see everything. Anyway, continue.
And only she knows her son in a way that a mother would know her son.
Oh, facts.
So.
Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of another one. But yeah,
okay.
My bad.
I mean, I'm telling you, I don't remember the details fully. So like, I just know I went to her about you, but I asked if it was okay first.
Yeah.
For me to go to her about that situation.
So yeah, so that's an example of sensitive situations, where you may want to seek wise counsel individually. Just remember, the biggest takeaway is always make sure y'all are in agreement. Always make sure y'all are in agreement. Now, how we use our wise counsel depends on the situation, right? Like you said, oftentimes we meant to schedule a group FaceTime, all right? Everybody in this thing, we need all hands on deck, all right? And then most of the time, we're picking one person and we're going to them for a specific reason and a specific result. Not one that's favorable to us, but just a result that'll move the needle forward.
Now, you know you're not about to skate by. So what was the situation that you remembered when I was telling my experience?
Oh, it wasn't I forgot. It wasn't a wise counsel thing. We was literally just on the phone with mommy, and I realized I don't talk. Like, I can talk without talking, which I think we talked about in the previous joint. But yeah, communication, talking without talking. It's a skill developed,
It is a skill for sure.
But it ain't good when you don't realize you're doing it. So yeah, that was all I was thinking about.
That's all I have on wise counsel, baby. I think we.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Well,
you
let's
got
see.
more?
We talked about what wise counsel is, the importance of it. Purpose is pretty much the same thing as importance. Yes, I got questions for you. Thank you. Do you feel like wise counsel can change? Is it ever changing? Is it an ever changing group? Is it a static group? What do you think?
That is a phenomenal question. And I'm going to go with yes, it can change because seasons change, people change.
Yes.
So it can definitely change. There can be additions to, subtractions from. And it's not always necessarily like when there is a subtraction from, it's not always necessarily something that you two need to discuss. You just kind of know that it's happening.
It's time. Yeah.
So like the need, if you will, to reach out to them will decrease over time.
Yeah.
You know? And so that doesn't mean they can't be your wise counsel. It's just that the need, you know, for what God has graced them to give isn't there. But I mean, I don't think that necessarily means you call and cut them off, you know, or anything like that. I think it's like
something. It could be like they're growing they're growing in another direction, and now it's hindering more than it's blessing. That's it.
Now you cut them off when they become toxic. If they become a toxic hindrance to your marriage,
yeah,
I think that's when you experience a situation where you remove wise counsel.
Okay, cool. And hindrance doesn't mean your uncomfortability, okay? Because...
Ooh, thank you for clearing that up.
No problem. Because, again, your wise counsel is there to make you uncomfortable. Answers, discipline, questions, knowledge. Those who love knowledge love discipline. They love to be corrected, right? So, with that being the case, if you're not someone who can be corrected, then, before you seek that wise counsel, ask God to help you with being corrected, help you receive it, help you to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Receive that humility.
So good.
So that you can be corrected. But like my wife said, wise counsel is ever changing. It can change. It's like a living document, right? Depending on which season it is, will depend on who's in it and who may be out of it. Thankfully, for us, our stuff is so comprehensive that no one is really out of it. We kind of just adding it and adding to. Yeah, we got we got levels. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a low-key a mini army. Like when we hit certain things in our lives, we don't have to look anywhere else because God has already placed them there. And it's so weird. It's such a weird place to be because oftentimes we'll go to maybe events or things and hear conversations that couples are having, and we're like, wow, thank God that we talked about that early. Thank God that we talked about that early, because that could have been us. And then oftentimes we'll talk to them or that couple, and then we'll transfer exactly what we got onto them, and it'll help them out. You know. Follow-up question.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got questions. My head is up now.
Let's go.
How do you feel wise counsel has helped you individually as a person? How has having wise counsel helped you?
It has helped me give you the space to grow as a husband, but also let me know when I need to be assertive or more vocal about things.
Okay. Can you elaborate, or is that what you got? You don't have to if you don't have it, but just curious. And by elaboration, I mean, do you have like a specific example that you can kind of drum up? It doesn't have to be a real life one.
You know, like really? So, I mean, if you haven't figured this out already, God was like my first wise counsel with being a wife, because
wonderful counselor.
Wonderful. My husband, you said, do this thing where he just wanted to be right.
I was on a debate team.
Yeah, he was on a debate team.
I knew how to debate.
So like, even when he knew he was wrong,
I am dying on that hill.
He would debate me down. And I'm not a confrontational person. I'm a very strategic person. So when I shoot my arrow, it has come with a great amount of thinking. Okay. But in a debate, you're going so fast, the other person being him, he's going so fast, and I'm just like, if I keep meeting fire with fire, I'm just going to burn out. So I was like, God, this is your son, and you got to deal with this. And I walked away. So when he wanted to win, guess what I did? I let him win. And that is how God counseled me in that moment, in those situations. And then God revealed to me, and it was so sweet because he set him down. You remember when God set you down about that?
About what?
About you debating
right?
and wanting to be right? Yeah. And just like trying to win the conversation just for the sake of winning the conversation?
No, but I remember what it felt like every time I had to come back and say I'm sorry. And that's because I value correction. I value it so much. It don't feel good at all. Like, it does not feel good at all. I had to swallow that pill. But it helped me with my pride. It helped me with my wanting to know everything all the time. Like I said, wanting to be right all the time, which pretty much, thinking I'm the hottest thing in the sun, you know? But, I remember each and every time. I was like, dang, that feeling sits with me. So whenever we get into a discussion now, honestly, I don't even speak as fast as I used to. I let space fill. I pause. I think. I let it be.
Yeah. We've come a long way.
Definitely. So, for me though, wise counsel has helped me as a person. I noticed, and I didn't notice until we was talking about it in the bed last night, that wise counsel has helped me to think through different actions. It's helped me to, I'm gonna say, breathe a little bit, because I don't feel like I'm alone, you know? If you haven't watched our last episode, you should watch it. But where I talked about being out here away from friends and things like that. But I don't feel like I'm alone in this husband journey. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
You know? And it also helped with I want to say the burden of being a husband, but not in a bad way. You know, it's not a bad burden. It's the weight. There we go. The weight of being a husband. Because now I have people I can go to who have already gone through certain situations, who have already gone through certain feelings, certain emotions, certain mental shifts that I had to make, that then allowed me to make my mental shifts twice as fast, 3 times as fast, so on, because I knew what was coming. I knew what things I needed to put in place to handle it. And it came and went like it was nothing. That's how I noticed. Oh, it also made me more accountable for my actions too. Oh my gosh, because one thing I don't want is my mother or pops or anyone calling my phone, okay? And I don't remember what I did and why I did it. Oh my gosh, talk about accountability. It will make you accountable for your actions. Again, my wife and I have a ongoing understanding that if she needs to go to any of our wise counsel on our behalf by herself, she can, and vice versa. So that adds a little more fuel to the fire, because now I really got to make sure I remember everything I did, you know. But it makes you slow down in life. It makes you really think and be more intentional. So that's another thing. It's made me more intentional about figuring it out, because we go to our wise counsel when we can't figure it out. Yes. That I forgot to mention. That right there is so when important. You use your wise counsel. You use them when you can't come to an agreement and you need that tiebreaker. You know, that's honestly the main dish of why we had a wise counsel in the first place. And again, so grateful for my mother that she actually told us, hey, y'all should get a wise counsel. Put whoever you need to put in it. And that'll be your circle, if you will, of people you go to when y'all can't figure it out. But she even said, don't come to me if y'all ain't talk about it first. All right? Because she will easily hang up the phone.
And that's the key right there.
Or, well, nowadays she'll be like, baby, you might want to go talk to your wife about it. You know, what did she say? What did you say? Now, what did you do? But
you know, when you were talking about the wise counsel, I just, like, God brought it back to my remembrance that he has counsel. There's a Father, there's a Son, there's the Holy Spirit. That's counsel within himself. But I also believe there's even like
a heavenly counsel.
A heavenly, yeah.
Yeah, there are meetings in heaven.
Yes.
There are meetings in heaven. Yes.
Crazy, my brain just went.
Yes. So having a wise counsel is needed. I mean, even in the art of war, right? Before you go to war, before anybody, a smart king goes to war, they go to their council to discuss it, to see if there's any pitfalls, any talk strategy, all the things, right?
Our government. Yeah. Every government in the world, there's counsel. Yeah.
There has to be like a spiritual principle or something, right? A spiritual system or something.
You know,
where wise counsel is a thing.
I always wonder, why do people emphasize that it takes a village to raise a child? but not that it takes a village
Uh-huh.
to sustain a healthy and thriving marriage. That requires community. That's the thing that oftentimes comes before the child. Not that it's not necessary for the child, it really is. But if you have the village and the community to uphold, encourage, and help your marriage withstand the trials and tribulations and the storms, the child is easily gonna be taken care of.
And to that point, they also become the byproduct of your love instead of the main focus point that's holding your marriage together.
Talk about it.
That's it, because I can go into that a whole nother avenue. But that right there, oh my goodness, yeah, what you hit on that's very important. Because the marriage is together, the byproducts that come from it,
The byproducts are thriving.
are beautiful. And now y'all won't get to, it's going to be harder to get to a place of roommates. Or we're just here because of the kids. You know what I'm saying? No, because they're a byproduct. They're going to be good. We're going to make sure they're good.
Because they are built on the solid foundation.
Exactly. So we talked about the
I'm
what.
excited.
We talked about the what, the how we use it, the why it's important. And then we gave y'all some practical examples. So I think that's it for this one. You have anything
If
else?
anybody want to sow,
If you want to sow into this grace, if you want to sow a seed into the podcast, to help us gain a studio by any means, reach out to us, the marriage is podcast at gmail.com. Again, reach out to us at the marriage is podcast at gmail.com, or shoot us a message at I am chosen, that's IM_CHOZ3N, or Lachelle Stallings, SLASHELLE Stallings, STALLINGS, or an IG, or the Marriages Podcast on Instagram. I should have probably just said that. All one word, you know.
we'll see it all.
Yeah, we'll see it all, you know. Let us know in the comments, and we'll reach back out. But until next time, thank y'all have been so kind. I hope this helps. Not even I hope it helps. It will help.
And don't
Will
forget
help.
to like, subscribe, and share. Those 3 people, while you was listening, they came to your mind.
Yes.
Make sure you share this episode with them.
And comment your favorite takeaway. What was a funny moment that happened? What was something deep that was said? Well, not even, it doesn't have to be deep, but like, what was something that was said that really resonated with you? We want to know what really resonates with y'all. And we, our greatest joy is that y'all are learning, y'all are applying, and that when y'all apply it, like, y'all see a solution to your answer. So, to your problem. So thank you again. And as always, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Thank you for rocking with the Chosens. We out. Until next time. Peace.
Praise you. Yeah, you've been so good.